Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing, and I wanted to jump in on here before I go to bed on this nightly update on this July the 9th, 2025. You can see the XLM price I'm focusing in on here did do extremely well and did do what we were talking about when we said if it did what XRP did here, which XRP now is higher than it was, it could come up into this nearly 30-cent range. And you can see it did do that from where it was, I believe, yesterday, or even today, was right up near this neckline. You can see if we zoom in. And when it was down here and initially got rejected like it should, we said if it breaks through this, you're going to come all the way up here in between this, maybe all the potentially up as high as this 33-cent level, right? And now we're sitting up here at a cycle high of 0.297. So it still looks bullish. You can see we had that big spike in volume. It could still trickle up more this evening. And right now, your first area of major resistance is up here at the 31 cents. You can see from this little conglomerate of candlestick right here. So that's what we're looking at here. And obviously, in the daily time frame, these moving averages are going to be shooting up to the upside right now. And you can see the 50-day moving average is now shooting to the upside. The 100-day moving average is going to lag behind it, but still uptrending. And the 200-day right here is going to be the last one to come up. But now, as long as you're above these moving averages, you're very bullish in the short term, right? You're above the 20 cent, the 25.5 cent. You've confirmed that as major support still. And as long as you're above those two moving averages, the 100 and the 200, you're very, very bullish in the short term. And you could come all the way up into this 33, 34 cent level. And if we zoom out here into the daily time frame, you can see where we're talking about, all the way up into this level from the 32, 31.5 all the way up here into this 36-cent level, with the mean about the 33 cents, is where there is an area of major resistance from back here. You can see we're back in here. This was using it as support, and then it flipped the major resistance here. That's why this level would be, if we put a little box here, this level would be a major area of overhead resistance right there. You see that? You can see where the bottom part of that, it was acting as support over here, and then it was acting as resistance all the way through here. So you would theorize if it did come all the way back up, like it did back here in May, it would use it as resistance again, because I don't have to tell you this. You can see that difference in volume. This is the recent spike in volume. Still impressive for what's been happening, but not as impressive as this right here, and that got rejected. So that's very interesting. But this could be the pump that we've been waiting for, as now this does look like a nice textbook double bottom with the pump. And if this does continue to break up out of this double bottom, this could be where you fire all the way back up to the 43 cents potentially. So that's something that we're looking at. You can see it's two of the tracks in the background do take that track. One takes it to the south side, right? But two of them take it very, very bullish. And that's something that we have to watch out for, and that's something we've been paying attention to. But this double bottom here and the way this looks is very, very interesting, as if this does break to the upside, you could say there's a neckline there, and you could say that's a neckline there, and you could pull this up from bottom, neckline, which is right here, to the point of a breakout, and you can see that's how that gets you up there to the 43 cents. And those are patterns that you see a lot of after a 6-month consolidation. So we're going to continue to watch that to see if that's where that does go. And maybe, just maybe, we're not going to get back down to that 18-cent level. I still believe that can be in play, but maybe not right now. Maybe we've had enough bearish action in these two bottoms right here. The two double bottoms are all we're going to get out of it, but we'll keep you updated, and that's what we're here to do, to keep you updated. And the XRP, again, has bounced successfully, and it is now attempting to come all the way back up into this $2.56 level. And that would appear to be where your next major move is going, where we're going to continue on its way unless something significant changes. We're getting over this critical candlestick here, which has been acting as major sell pressure over the last several months. You can see it's been major sell pressure here, here, there, all through here. It's been major sell pressure. Now we've put in, just like the XLM price, an uptrending, but a double bottom there. And it looks to me like we're coming back up here in the short term at the very least to retest a delete and the retest this top right here from back in May, which is a phenomenal run from the $1.92 all the way up here to potentially the $2.55 here. And if it does do that, it'll probably do that before the week is out. And as long as you're above the same as XLM, these major moving averages, you're bullish. The 50 and the 100 here, you're bullish. If you get underneath it, you're bearish and come back down towards the neckline support. If we go look at the Ethereum price, had a phenomenal pump, and it has now almost gained everything back from this quick pump. And now you can see we have this double top forming. And if you break out past this double top, we do know we're bullish right now because we're above the moving averages. Your upper target here in the short term is $3,060 and change, the bottom part of that green trading zone. And you can see your first resistance zone is the cycle high of $2,877. You can see currently we're about $100 below that. If you have any kind of massive breakdown and you get below these moving averages again, obviously that is your first major support. And then this is your underneath target on the downside. But right now we're going bullish, and those are the two areas. Bitcoin dominance with the altcoins rising is falling. Could this be the start of altcoin season? Could this be a new all-time high coming in? Did it break an all-time high? It did. We have pinged a new all-time high in Bitcoin at about $112,000. And is this going to be the beginning now that we've broken the new all-time high? A steam rally all the way up here, just like one of the tracks show, all the way up to 152,168.47, which is the upper resistance of this extended multi-year rising channel. Is that what we're doing right now? That is very, very possible, and that's something that we're going to watch out for. Or is this going to do something like we've seen before, right back here in this mountain double top? The first top that it had back here, you can see we came up, had a top of consolidation, and came back up and briefly took out the high, and then we folded down for a 35% correction. Is that what we're doing right now, where it's almost the exact same pattern, just to a lesser degree? We only came down about 15%, just taking out the all-time high, and then we start to roll over. So that's going to be very interesting if we pull off something like we've just seen. So we're in the daily time frame. What that would tell us is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The next 3 to 6 days, we should see if that's going to play out after this wick candle here today, the daily candle that we're on right now. We should start to be putting in a high and then trading sideways, but below that high and below the old high. So that's going to be very interesting because it looks very similar. See how we did it here? Look how we did it here. It looks very similar to what we had there. So these are the two areas that we're watching. If we continue to break up, you will shoot to the 152 literally in the blink of an eye, but you could also roll over in the blink of an eye like you've seen right there. And then if we go back in the price, you can see it did it too back here both times. You can see where we had our mountain double top during COVID. Look at this. We came up, just took out the high here, and then rolled over. Then we had our 50% correction. Then we came all the way back up and just took out the all-time high and then rolled over, right? So we've had 3 times, 2 here and then 1 right there to have the same thing happen. So this is going to be very interesting what happens in the Bitcoin price and the XRP, the XLM price, or the Bitcoin price and the Ethereum price. What happens here over the next several days? AMP, could this be the time where we get one of these just enthusiastic rallies where you go like back here, where you start to pump and you go from the 5th of November in about 2 weeks, about 30 days, you go from swing low to here, you go up about 200% in 30 days, right? Could we be doing something like that? Finally, maybe, because you could see back when we tried to break out of a falling channel, we went up 87% to just give it all back over the coming time. But could this be the cycle low? And now we must have a rally and a bounce. We're going to pay attention for that. Obviously, what we were talking about earlier, and I do have quite a bit of coins of this. You have to get over top of this and get back on top of the 200-day and fight your way through, and that can give you the freedom to work your way up to the upside, right? So I am still bullish on this long term. It just is going to take a while. You can see our track does say eventually it will get up there. I still am forecasting a 2.5 to 5 cent target, something that we talked about back during this pump and the pump before that. And it's just delayed, not denied. And I believe at one dime and one day it will get there. Like the channel, subscribe. I got to get to bed, but I felt I needed to make this video. I was going to go to sleep and said, nope, I must put this video out. Peace and love to my loyal, beautiful, growing, and glowing audience. Jay.